Yesterday, on Wednesday, April 12, 2023, the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council released a statement saying that the party's presidential candidate, former Governor Peter Obi, had indeed been briefly arrested and detained at London's Heathrow Airport. And then they said it was for a case of impersonification. Now, according to their statement, Peter Obi was pulled off the queue by immigration officials and was given a detention order. And that because Nigerians on the queue were alarmed and then were creating a scene, the immigration officials were forced to tell them the reason why Peter Obi was detained. Now, I know for a fact that that story is not true. It's not true at all. Nigerians or any nationals on the queue cannot force immigration officials to do anything. I mean, Heathrow is an airport I've been going to since I was a child. I'm sure even before Peter Obi said to go to the United Kingdom, I've been going to the United Kingdom since I was a child. So I know what I'm talking about. Listen, the immigration officials at Heathrow will not be forced to do anything. If you try to misbehave, they radio for reinforcement, and a lot of them will come and they will deal with you and they will send you back to your country. You cannot dictate to them, you cannot force them to tell you anything. That story, as given by the Labour Party PCC, is not true. Now, yes, Peter Obi was arrested and briefly detained, but then the account by the Labour Party PCC is not accurate, and I encourage the British High Commission in Nigeria to give their own side of the story so that we know the truth. Now, this idea of impersonification is just silly because, in case a lot of people don't know, I was a presidential spokesman for 4 years. Any plane leaving Nigeria, before you leave Nigeria to your host country or to your destination country, the Nigerian authorities have to give them a manifest of every passenger on that plane. They have to give you a manifest of every passenger on that plane. So if they don't want you to come to their country, they tell the Nigerian officials, and when you get to the airport, Nigerian immigration will find one excuse or the other, the airline will find one excuse or the other, you're not going to board that plane. If you board that plane, it's because they've sent the details, the manifest, to the host or the destination country, and they want you to come. Maybe they want you to enter their country, or they want to arrest you, or something else. But you are not going to enter that plane if the host or destination country does not want you to enter. That's number one. Number two, when you're on the queue, they have RFID, radio frequency identification. They already know your details from the queue. They don't wait for you to come to the cubicle before they know your details. So already they know who's on the queue, and then they know everything about you that they need to know in terms of biodata, in terms of past activity in their country. Peter Obi has been a UK resident. I know him, he used to be like quite close to me. He was a UK resident. So they've got information about him. They've got fingerprint information about him. They've got eye data information about him. They also have other biodata information about him. It's impossible for Peter Obi to be a victim of impersonification in the United Kingdom, and then it will happen the way it was described at Heathrow Airport by the PCC. That's not possible at all. They are telling, will I say, a whitewash story, their own story. So they should come out either with the truth, or we encourage the British authorities to come out with the truth. I think that there is some underlying factor that happened to Peter Obi. It wasn't impersonification at all. Not at all, not at all. Listen, even if you're given the same passport with the same name, your fingerprint information is going to be completely different. Your eye color information is going to be completely different. And let's say the Nigerian Immigration Service, maybe they want to embarrass Peter Obi, and then they give another passport with the exact biodata information to somebody else to embarrass Peter Obi, and that person travels. It is that person that will be arrested. Because already on their data, they've got fingerprints, they've got eye, and so when that person comes, they're going to look and compare it with what they have. Because for Peter Obi to be a British resident, he already registered all of those things with the British authorities. So it's that person that's going to be arrested and going to be detained, not Peter Obi. Peter Obi is too high profile. He's very, very high profile. I have met with the British Prime Minister with Peter Obi in tow. I met with Boris Johnson with Peter Obi. A friend of mine who is a Lord in the House of Lords, arranged that visit. It was not a friend of Peter Obi, it was my friend. So three of us, Senator Ben Bruce, Peter Obi, and myself, went and saw Boris Johnson. Peter Obi has also been received at number 10 Downing Street by other leaders. So he's a very high-profile person. That kind of mistake cannot have happened. And British immigration officials are not going to be intimidated by Nigerians or the crowd and then be forced to tell them why they're detaining. No. And then he said that he spent Easter there. Obviously, if he spent Easter there, that means he must have been taken to a room. There is something behind all of this. This story that they are telling us is a wishy-washy story. It's not a true story. So I can tell you that Peter Obi, either he come up with the true story, or I encourage the British High Commission to come up with the true story. Now, I don't wish Peter Obi evil. I do not wish him evil. I suspect that what happened to him has something to do with the statement by Dati Baba Ahmed, where he was almost in a fascistic manner stating that if the Supreme Court does not give his own narrow interpretation of the Nigerian Constitution as regards the 2/3 of the states, then that is the end of democracy. I suspect that's what it is, because the British don't want Nigerian refugees coming into their country. Because that's what's going to happen if you're calling for the end of democracy in Nigeria. There's going to be a bunch of refugees going to all parts of the world, go to Ghana, go to Cameroon, go to Chad, go to Niger, and definitely some will come to the United Kingdom, some will come to the United States. I guess, now, in my opinion, I suspect that that's what happened. But the story that they gave about impersonification, 100%, I am sure that's not the case. Now, I urge you, I know a lot of you obedience are going to go to my comment section to insult me. Please insult me. It helps me with my YouTube page. There's a lot of, a lot of traffic when you insult me, and it makes me money. So go ahead and do that. And I just want to thank you for watching, and may God bless you.
But Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is